Welcome to my humble little office. My name is R. Keith Andrews. I'm a spiritual guide and paranormal adept. The journey continues today on April 10th, 2022 at approximately 5:15 a.m. PST. Well, looks like the things are finally turning back to a semblance of normal, but I hope not, in all fairness. At least around here, we can now go back to the restaurants, and I'll tell you, the places are swamped. They've removed at least in Kelowna where I live, they've removed the vaccine, the mandatory vaccine, right? And all of a sudden, business is booming. Now, time will tell whether this works, but the thing that I do caution you on is this. I now do understand. I returned to this world for one primary purpose, and that is to remind people that working together, we can make this a better world for most people. But this is going to require everybody pitching in. It starts with you. Okay. It starts with me. Every individual is worth the same amount, spiritually speaking. And it takes a whole array of different types of people. Now, I've been putting things together. Okay. And I did. The mandates came out, and I did go back out to a restaurant, which I haven't been into in months. And in all fairness, I was overspending. So I did learn my lesson on that. Will I be going out again to them? Absolutely. Just I won't be going through, 350 to 400 bucks a month at the restaurant. That much I got straight. I may well still go to it on a daily basis, but instead of eating a meal every day, have a coffee, support the local businesses. They've been there from the get go for me. They opened the doors. I do a lot of writing while I'm at the restaurant, like just on loose leaf. You know, but I'm thinking that's not a bad way to get out of the house. You go for a walk, take the satchel with me, do a little bit of writing while I'm there, and have a coffee. This could work out very nicely. Now, it certainly won't make them as much money as it did, as I paid them before. But the reality is, I'm not the only person in the city. Okay. The same goes with you. This idea of working together. I still encourage you very strongly to support your local businesses. One of the things we got to look at here is take a look at your own life. Are you content with the way your life is going? If the answer is yes, then you're probably not listening to me. Okay. That being said, if it is no, take a look at one aspect of your life that you're not content with and make a change. And what did I do? There it is. Yesterday, I mentioned I had to get this sign done. And remember that thing about procrastination? Doesn't work well. Okay. This is the sign I was referring to. Now, of course, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see it. But you'll see it says here, this thing down here is the date. That series of numbers. It's the same dating system I use for everything. But this sign, I have legally acquired a minimum of $3,500 by April 30th, 2022 at 23:59, which is military time for 1 minute to midnight. Okay. The bottom part is because I run a home-based business. Inner Voice Enterprises has legally generated a minimum of $600 by April 30th, 2022 at 1 minute to midnight. Now, I mentioned I was going to put this sign together. Okay. And again, said I was going to put it together. Now, I said it for my benefit. So, it got put together and got checked off my list. Okay. Now it's a question of really focusing on the rest of this. Now, what is today? Today is the 10th. Okay. I'm doing my level best to stay on track as far as on day one, look at the home. Like on odd days, look at the home. On even days, look at finance. And there's a whole bunch of different things that we look at in both. Okay. But it all boils down to this. This funny little thing, this is just a stack of loose papers I'm working with. But you can't see much, but you see I've written a list down. I don't expect you to read it by any means. Okay, but I put that there because it's a list that I can keep an eye on and make sure that I add things as I go along. Now, if you like the video, absolutely subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up because, and please give us that. Apparently, it's got something to do with the algorithm YouTube uses. So if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Do subscribe to the channel. Okay, and what are we sitting at here? Just a curiosity thing. There we are. It's a slow climb. Okay, but we are working at getting this message out. We've got 238 subscribers according to my YouTube channel right now. Okay, and I will continue building it. But with that in mind, okay, I have confirmed, I had mentioned I was going to be going live if I could figure things out. So I managed to test it, and I will be going live tonight on YouTube from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific. Okay. If you've got questions in any field, come and ask. Okay. I still prefer dealing with the idea of taking a look in the chat room and trying to catch the questions there. Now, I don't know how successful or how organized this is going to be. I'm probably going to stumble around a lot. Okay. But that's just a bracing on my part. Now, the neat part about it is today, sorry about that, is apparently I'm going to cough. Now, bear in mind, this is a live recording. Okay, which means when I get to the end of the video, I double check the date, make sure I got the date right, and then I just post as is. You get all the hiccups, well, in this case, cough. Okay, but it's time to really take a look in the mirror and get things moving. Now, for me, with the Return to Paradise, okay, the third book in the Yldrbacian Chronicles, it's the end of the trilogy, okay, that I'm in the process of writing, that I'm targeting the end of the year for. Now, my initial idea was to get the core of it written by my birthday on May 13th. My suspicion is I'm not likely to make it that far. Okay, I'm still targeting the end of the year, and I'm still going to push to get that one done. Okay, because for me, this really is, it's not a moneymaker right now. Do I hope to make a living at writing? The answer is yes. Obviously, I've got 6 books in print. I've got 2 of them are novels. Okay. I'm working on striving to get a few others out, but I've been a little sidetracked. Things like, lost a brother, that sort of thing, kind of caused a hiccup in concentration. But where it comes to finances, you start in the office. That is the brainchild. That is the brains of the house, not of the home. That's the brains of the house. It's kind of like the difference between magnetic north and true north. Okay, this is the brains of the house. The brains of the home is really the heart of the home, which is a combination of your dining room, your living room, and your kitchen. But in the office here, I've got the office table, the desk is laid out properly. Okay, so it's running smoothly. Had an interesting situation this morning, just before I went to record, and all of a sudden my temperature spiked, and I'm still working on what's causing that. But here's a bizarre question for you, and obviously I'm making up my own mind. Now, I'm supposed to go in for a blood test I'm supposed to go in for a blood test at the end of this month. But here's the thing. I know they're going to tell me my blood sugar's all over the place. My blood pressure's fine. Okay. My pulse is sitting normal. I know that's all the way that is. They want me to go in for a blood test to find out what my sugar is doing, what my sugar levels are doing, and a few other things. In your opinion, and I would love some input on this, because I'm caught in kind of an interesting situation. I can go in and get it checked and find out, yes, my blood sugar's all over the place, and get that confirmed. But the thing is, they're going to say, take this medication. Okay, I went in before my blood pressure was ridiculously high. They told me I'd be on blood pressure pills for the rest of my life. Well, in 10 days, I brought my blood pressure down, and I haven't been on blood pressure pills since. I know when they go into the hospital, when I go into the doctor, into the lab, they're going to do the blood test. And the doctor's going to come back and say, your blood sugar's off the chart. You've got to get on this medication. And I'm going to look at them and go, I'm not taking the medication. I'm going to find a way to bring my blood pressure and my blood sugar into a decent balance. Now, in your opinion, and like I said, I would love to see the feedback on this in the comments below. In your opinion, should I bother going to get the blood work done since I'm not going to follow what the doctor said anyway? Now I'm leaning heavily in the idea of there's not much point. Okay, what do you think? Now don't get me wrong. I do feel doctors have a use, but the doctors have virtually never managed to get a handle on the way my system is working personally. Okay, I do not claim to be a doctor. Claim to be a wingnut on occasion, but that might not be all that far from the truth. But where it comes to, and let's get back to the reality behind what I was actually starting to say. Okay, everything is very solidly connected. I've got the office set up properly. Okay, I've got a couple of changes I've got to make as things move on, but right now it's clear, it's running smoothly. Okay, so that's where we start with your finances. Okay, get that office already done. This neat little sign that I just showed you, right? This one here works like an absolute charm to help you stay focused. I strongly encourage you to keep that in, to make that sign. But where I put 3,500, do understand I only require 2,500 to run my household. Okay, that's rent, or may have mortgage. It's the same thing. You're either renting from a landlord, renting from the bank, or renting from the government. Okay, and the reason I say or renting from the government, maybe you've paid your house off, but you're still paying land taxes. And rest assured, if you do not pay land taxes, they will take your property from you. Okay, they'll evict you. So realistically, you're paying rent. Okay, so your rent, your utilities, okay, your insurance, your food, a little bit for entertainment, for savings, okay, your mad money, all of these things, and of course, don't forget your transportation. Now, all of these things are necessary parts of the financial picture. The two most critical are, frankly, your rent and your power. Okay. Everything else you can either work around, get real assistance with, okay, or you can do without. Now, I know some of you are looking at it going, oh, I can't do without the internet. Yeah, you can. Mankind survived a lot of centuries without the internet. Okay, but it's time to start working together, but that starts with the home. Now, I am content with the way my weight's going right now. I seem to have plateaued right above the 200 mark. Right, today I checked it and I'm sitting at 206.4. 206.4 pounds. Yes, I'm in Canada. We're supposed to deal in metric. I still think in standard units. Sorry, I'm a dinosaur that way. Okay, so from that standpoint, I'm content with these things. And that's the other one that I've got to make a note for, is to move the income tax. I mentioned this the other day. Okay, but when I get off of this, one of the things I'm going to do is go up here. These are all income tax files all up here. Yeah, that's working really well. But you get the idea. Okay, so those I'll get cleared off once I'm done this video. So tomorrow, and this is again getting the energy in my office running properly. Cleared the floor off, and no, I'm not going to take my camera and try and figure out how to show you that. Got the floor completely cleared yesterday. The office is running properly. This means the energy in my house is running smoothly. In my office, in the brain of my house, I've got the energy doing what it should. Now the trick, because with the Return to Paradise, okay, I finished chapter 8 yesterday. Today I'm going to be working on chapter 9. Okay. And again, that is one of those neat little things from my standpoint. It's a major goal, but it's also it is my creative side. But the important factor with it is that it's my creative side that hopefully will turn into it will turn into an income, into a stable income. I don't know what it's doing yet. Okay, not much, that's for certain. But every book that I've got in print is listed below this video in a list of different books of different some well, okay, we'll think that one through before we say it again. Remember that thing about this being a live reading, a live recording. Okay, I've got 2 science fiction, science fantasy novels out, parts 1 and 2 of a trilogy. I've got a children's book out, 2 self-help books, and a reference manual. All of these are listed at the bottom of this video. All of them are can be acquired through me. Okay, and the simplest way, if you're in Canada, I take email deposits. If you're elsewhere in the world, I do take PayPal. Okay. And the difference between with the 2 novels, they can be acquired on either directly through me, at which point you get colored maps and a signed copy, or you can order them through authorhouse.com, Amazon, Indigo, Chapters, Barnes and Noble. Okay, and they are in the process of being translated from they're in the process of being translated from English into I might want to stop and think for half a moment. I'm currently dealing on the edge with a I'm in the process of dealing with an Italian publisher to get these books translated into, from what I understand, if I understood what she said originally, into Spanish, German, and Italian. Well, I guess Italian first. It's an Italian-based publisher. So into Italian, Spanish, and German, I think are the 3. And of course, it's already in English. But this will get them into Europe. Okay. So I'm really working to move forward with that. I wonder if I did that right. Well, that does confuse me. Let's see what happens when I pop this up. Like I said, this is a live recording. And sometimes things hit my head that I'm just all of a sudden, what the heck did I do? That's Eve. Let's see. Oh, that's why I wrote that. Okay. Still waiting for one from the Italian one. I remembered writing something and all of a sudden got myself all tied in a knot. So we go into this is live, and this is just one of those funny things I end up doing to keep on track. Where are we here? Italian publisher. There we are. Okay. Gotta take a look at the last one. Okay, what's this? Oh, that's the information. Okay, don't need that one. That one. Okay, I'll have to go through that. I'm not gonna leave you guys hang. Anyway, I gotta go back through the letters from my Italian contact, the Italian publisher, and make sure everything is working properly. You know, But anyway, when you're looking at your finances, this is what I mean about I get scattered on occasion. When you're looking at your finances, you've got to have an idea of what you're personally aiming for. What other people think you should be aiming for is not your concern. Okay. Understand, for you to be successful, and by the way, when I'm talking your business, look at your house as a business. It is absolutely imperative you get that straight. Because once you start looking at your house as a business, you can start implementing different things to expand the prosperity of your house, to make it what you consider successful. But you're the only person that can determine that. Now, I am working on, again, I got this thing here. I am working on a number of books, like I think 32, possibly 33, all at the same time. Okay. As you can see, this can cause some problems with focus. But anyway, get an idea in your head what you feel is success. Write it down. For me, success starts with a simple issue. I had to have my office straight and running properly, which is why that shelf is going to get cleared here. Okay. Those are all old income tax files. They can all be put away. Okay. I don't have to keep them out any longer. So they'll be boxed up and put away in storage and held onto. Okay. The rest of it will, and then I'll be able to move things around. And I think, and I'd love to hear your comments on this, by the way. That shelf up where you see the figure sitting up here, right there. There we are. That shelf right there. I'm thinking, take these. I've got dragons and what have you, and other figures that I use when I'm writing. I'm thinking I'm probably going to put them up on that shelf. These are bigger ornaments and sculptures that I've got. But that will get them up where they can sit. I can see them while I'm working because I work sitting right here. It's just, in all fairness, when I'm writing, I usually have to turn this direction because that's where my keyboard is. Get the energy in your office, wherever you work on your finances. That's where you have to have things stable. That is the critical point. Okay, because once you get the brainchild of your house working, then finances will start to move. Get the desk cleared up. I've repeated that multiple times at this point, today, which probably gives you an idea of how important it is. Because the more clutter you get out of the way, the easier your house will run. Okay. Now I've got 2 shelves here, well, 3 shelves here. This set right here has to be cleared out of the way. I've got to get it moved. It's just that simple. As a matter of fact, come to think of it, where it comes to energy, I've got 1 shelf in my back room, in my bedroom, that I need the shelf gone. Well, the only way that's going to happen is to take the boxes that are on it and move them off of it. Once that is done, I can start emptying those boxes. But I'll get that thing out of the house, and then I'll be fine. Okay. Now, the important factor from your standpoint is, again, we're looking at getting the energy in your house working. But that requires you determining you're done with the problem. You've got to get that emotional drive here. Now, success is a simple issue. Success is done in the following: desire plus focused effort equals success, whatever you call success. Okay, when you run your house as a business, when you run the finances in the house as a business, the idea of running a business is to be successful. Okay, most people don't run a business to go bankrupt. Okay, they run a business to become successful. Now, it's only April. I've got my income tax up to date. And talk about a fiasco that was, but I'll go into that maybe some other time. Got the income tax into date, got myself debt free, got a plan to make my money grow properly. I'm working on clearing out the junk in my house. Finally, after 55 years of living in an absolute warehouse, I was a professional pack rat, and I would jam every corner with stuff. I am clearing stuff out left, right, and center, and I strongly encourage you to do the same thing. But these are goals I set out for myself, and now all of my hallways, the artery in your house, in all fairness, it's the arteries in your home as well, okay, are now clear where the energy can run smoothly. Now, what I've never shown you, okay, because I've never taken you out of this room, primarily because I'm not walking around the house with the laptop, okay, but on my walls, now I've talked about world unity, that we can make this world a better place for everybody if we work together. Okay, now down my hall, I have a whole bunch of what are called boson heads. Some of you people my age may recognize the term. I've got well over 100 of these things hanging on the wall, and the reason for that is I look at those and they just remind me that everybody on this planet, okay, all of you, are equally important. Hence the sign up here that says, I am worth it. Okay, that is my hallway that reminds me where people are, and the fact that everybody's combined. Where it comes to the feng shui side of things, okay, have your money all sitting in one place. All of my financial stuff happens in this room. Okay, all of my writing gets finalized in this room. So that's where all of my talking to people, this is where videos get posted, etc. It's all right here in the brainchild of my house. Success for you may be just having a house that runs right. Maybe you're interested in a small business. Maybe you're interested in going global. I personally have plans for down the road, when I've got the money, to build a true healing center. Something that will accommodate everything from health of a mental, physical, and spiritual base, right through business, accommodation, teach people how to really build a solid, unified front. Okay, this is what I returned here for. Now, with this in mind, I'm going to let you go, and I was going to say until tomorrow, and I will be back with the journey tomorrow. Okay, but remember, tonight, from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific time, I will be going live on YouTube. Okay, there is a chat room there, and I hope to see you there, because this is my first launch, so it'll probably be, well, technically it's my second. It'll probably be a little choppy, but I'll do what I can. In the meantime, I will catch up with you in a few hours. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other, and for pity's sakes, stay positive.